Roblox trading is one of the best ways to make Robux, but if you're brand new it can feel impossible to know where to start. That's why in this video I'll be showing you the easiest, most beginner friendly way to start trading in 2026. The first thing you need to start trading is Roblox Premium. If you have no Robux, I would start with buying the 1000 or 2000 subscriptions. After that, all you need to do is buy the 450 subscription every month. Before doing anything else, you need to know what items you can actually trade. There are no UGC limiteds that are tradable, meaning you can only trade limited items created by the official Roblox account. The only exceptions to this are the shiny bling and a glossy red baseball cap. Do not buy these as they cannot be traded. Now that you have Premium and Robux, it's time to actually buy your first limited. This depends entirely on your budget, but in general you want to look for something that's stable, gets decent trades, and isn't projected. The deals page on Rolimons is perfect for this. Just sort by recent deals and look for items that are selling under value. I would recommend buying the deals with a discount of 20% or more, as these will give you the most profit. By the way, I've made a full video about buying your first limited if you want to go check that out. The link will be in the description down below. Once you've bought your first item, you have to make sure that you actually have trading turned on. Go to Settings, Privacy and Content Restrictions, and then click Trading and Inventory. From here, make sure your inventory is set to everyone and trading is also set to everyone. Now you're almost ready to start trading, but first off, you have to learn some lingo. There are a ton of terms and words that traders use, and it can sometimes be really hard to understand what they're actually saying. First off, we have RAP, which means recent average price. It can be manipulated in many ways, which we'll get to later, so I'd recommend checking the sales chart to be safe. Just scroll down and look at the prices from the last few days, and this should give you a good idea of what the item is worth. Next up, we have value. The value of an item is set by Rolimons and is determined based on two factors: RAP and proofs. We'll talk about proofs later, but items can actually rise and drop based off of the Robux sales. When they go above or below a certain threshold, the value will be changed. I would definitely recommend using value to trade, as it gives a much more accurate estimate of what the item is actually worth. After that, you might be wondering what a proof is, so I'll explain that now. A proof is when somebody in the Rolimons Discord posts an inbound or completed trade. Proofs and RAP are what dictate value, but they're also very useful to see what an item actually goes for and gets in trades. To find a proof, all you have to do is go into the value request channel and search up the item name. From here you can scroll through and see what it's getting. Now for a very important one, which is projecteds. An item becomes projected when a very large sale inflates the RAP way above the average. They get marked with this warning icon, which doesn't go away until the item stabilizes. Projecteds can definitely be good, and you can flip them to make a lot of profit, but just make sure you're not the one that's getting flipped on. The opposite of a projection is an LPP. LPP means lowest possible price, and it's when an item is sold once or multiple times for a very low price to decrease the RAP. This can affect some items more than others, but if it happens to you, don't panic and keep on trading like normal. The next and probably most common term is upgrade. An upgrade is when multiple smaller items are traded for a lesser number of bigger items. The opposite of upgrading is, of course, downgrading. A downgrade is when you give a bigger item for multiple smaller items. If you're talking about upgrading and downgrading, you'll also need to know about overpay. Overpay is giving more for an item than its listed value. So for example, in this upgrade I'm giving 1.4k overpay for the 8-bit Royal Crown. That means I'm giving 1,400 Robux more than what the actual value is. On the other hand, a lowball is giving less for an item than its listed value. So right here I'm giving 7k and receiving 9k, which makes this trade a 2,000 lowball. I'll put a link in the description down below with this official trading terms guide created by Rolimons. It is insanely helpful and I would definitely recommend checking it out. Rolimons is the most important website for Roblox trading. It's a fan-made website that sets all of the values and also marks projected items. On top of that, there are a ton of useful features that you need to know about, with the first and most important one being value changes. In here you can stay up to date with everything that's going on, whether it's item raises, drops, or projections. Now, this might sound kind of sad, but one of the first things I do each day is check the value changes to see what's going on in the market. Anyways, the second most important feature is the trade ads page. This is where most of my trades come from, and I've made the biggest profits through this feature. To make an ad, click this button right here. You can put your items on the left and whatever it is that you may want on the right. People can send trades to you straight from your ad, but that actually isn't the best part about the trade ads page. The actual best thing about this is the fact that you can easily mass send trades to literally anybody. So for example, if you want a specific upgrade or just a certain item, look for it in the trade ads page and then send to every owner. Sadly, there is a trade limit of about 100 trades per day, but it goes away after 24 hours. Rolimons has so many features that it's impossible to talk about all of them in this video. However, I will be making a full guide about Rolimons sometime in the future, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And now, with all that out the way, it's finally time to start trading. The best way to find trades, which I've already talked about, is by posting trade ads. However, the other way to do this is by joining the Roblox game Trade Hangout. In here you can walk around and look for people that have items you may want. You can also negotiate trades with these people, which is something you can't do on Rolimons. Now it's time for the hard part. After a little bit of searching, you should have a few trades inbound, and they'll look something like this. Everything is so complicated and you have no way to tell if the trade is good or not. Start by searching up Rovalk and installing the Chrome extension. Once that's done, the trading page should look completely different. Rovalk displays a lot of information, but the main one is this feature that shows how much you win or lose from the trade. Once you have Rovalk installed, go onto Rolimons and click this Discord button to join the server. Once you're in here, you can take a screenshot of your trade and ask people if it's good or bad. For the mobile users out there, you can sadly only install browser extensions on Android phones. If you're on an iPhone, head to rolimons.com and go to this trade calculator. Put in all the items from both sides, and now you can see how much you're winning or losing. If you're still not sure, take a screenshot and send it to the Discord. I wouldn't fully trust the Discord though. There are a lot of people on here who aren't the smartest, and will sometimes even try and trick you into accepting a bad trade. If you're not 100% sure about a trade, ask a good trader, or just trust your gut feeling. By the way, I've made a full video about trading tools such as Rovalk and Discord. If you want to go check that out, the link will be in the description down below. Now I'll talk about the best strategy you can use to make lots of profit. This strategy requires a tiny bit of research, but other than that, it's really simple. Start by going into the Rolimons Discord and searching up the word rise. From here, scroll through the messages until you see an item within your budget. I'll use Big Head as an example. Now search up that item on Rolimons. Look at the wrap and value, and if the wrap is just below the value or even above, that basically means that it's about to rise. Once you're sure it'll rise soon, mass send trades to every owner. Send trades with a good amount of overpay, but make sure they'll become equal once the item rises. Here's a chart that shows how much value items rise by. Anyways, once you get your trade completed, you just have to wait for the item to rise and make some easy profit. By the way, this strategy only works with smaller, wrap-based items below 60 to 70k value. Another great way to grow your value early on is by buying new items that are about to go limited. Roblox has been doing this a lot lately with items like the Requiem and the Houseworn Valkyrie. They were on sale for 24 hours and then became limited the next day. As soon as this happened, they instantly became more than triple the original price. If you've got the Robux, these items are basically guaranteed profit and one of the safest ways to grow when you're just starting out. Following on from that, you should always get new limiteds when they release. This isn't just for things like the Houseworn Valkyrie, but more so the old off-sale items that Roblox is bringing back. We've seen this with the Fall Fairy, Tix Bling, and a few other items recently. I'm not sure how many new limiteds will come out in 2026, but you should definitely keep an eye out for them. Items with particle effects always do incredibly well, but if they do actually add UGC particle effects, that might change. I'm currently editing this video on New Year's, and it will be 2026 in less than 1 hour. I'm not sure how much is going to change over the year, and some of this information may become completely wrong. However, I hope that 2026 is a positive year for Roblox trading. We could see an adjustment in holding periods, and hopefully an increase to the trade limit. And maybe, just maybe, we could see Piggy Trades hitting 10k subscribers. If you have anything else that you want to learn, feel free to check out my other videos. And now, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.